Hello from Dhaka. This is Tahmina Nupur and you are watching VSS News. At first, the headlines. Government to implement state reforms under July Charter, says Adviser Adilur. Foreign experts from 4 countries to investigate airport fires, says Home Advisor. Mirza Fakhrul Alamgir urges all parties to participate in polls to uphold democracy. First United States wheat shipment arrives at Ctg Port. Venezuelan military won't allow installation of a government subservient to United States, says Minister. Now the details. Government to implement state reforms under July Charter, says Adviser Adilur. Housing and Public Works Adviser Adilur Rahman Khan said the interim government is pledged to implement state reforms initiatives and build a new Bangladesh in line with the July National Charter and the July Declaration. He told a seminar titled Gum Nikrishto Fasibadi Shashoner Hatiyar at the Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Hall Auditorium this morning. The event was organized marking unveiling the book Ainaghor Shakhi Gum Jiboner 8 Bochor, written by barrister Mir Ahmed bin Kashem Arman, which depicts his 8 years in detention. The seminar was jointly arranged by Dhaka University Central Students Union and Prochot Prokashon. Adviser Adilur Rahman Khan said the fascist era has ended through the sacrifice of martyrs and the struggle of many victims. Bangladesh, he said, has now emerged from the darkness of extrajudicial killings and oppression, and efforts are underway to ensure justice for the victims. Trial processes against perpetrators have already started. He also called for transformation toward a new Bangladesh is an ongoing struggle and urged all citizens and political forces to stay united to uphold democracy and reforms. Dhaka University Central Students Union Vice President Abu Sadek, barrister Mir Ahmed bin Kashem, and enforced disappearance survivor Abdullah Aman Azmi also spoke at that event. Foreign experts from 4 countries to investigate airport fires, says Home Advisor. Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Chowdhury said experts from England, Australia, China and Turkey have been invited to investigate the devastating fire at the cargo village of the Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport in Dhaka. He was told journalists after inspecting the fire site at the airport. The Home Advisor said the invited specialist will identify the cause of the fire and those responsible for the incident. He informed that 4 firefighting engines of the civil aviation reached the spot within 30 seconds, while the fire service and civil defense teams arrived within 20 minutes. The fire, he said, spread quickly due to flammable materials present at the site, which made it difficult to bring under control. Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Chowdhury said there was no failure in firefighting efforts as the blaze was eventually controlled. The fire broke out around 2:30 p.m. on last Saturday at the cargo village where imported goods are stored. It was brought under full control about 27 hours of efforts at 4:55 p.m. on Sunday. The airport resumed operation at 9 p.m. on the same day. Mirza Fakhrul Alamgir urges all parties to participate in polls to uphold democracy. Bangladesh Nationalist Party Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Alamgir has urged all political parties to take part in the upcoming national elections to uphold democracy and political stability. Speaking as a chief guest at the discussion held on Saturday at the Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy, marking the founding anniversary of the Bangla daily Noya Digonto, Mirza Fakhrul Alamgir said, the national election is expected to be held by February 2026. The parties that signed the July National Charter should work together to ensure a credible and a participatory election. The BNP Secretary General said that the true national progress within a democratic framework is only possible through a fair election. He alleged that during the tenure of the previous Awami League government, around 60 lakh BNP activists faced false cases, over 20,000 were killed, and and many went missing. He also said that media repression began after the formation of Bakshal, when journalists lost their freedom, and later Shahid President Ziaur Rahman restored press freedom and reintroduced multi-party democracy system in the country. Praising Naya Digonto for its perseverance, Mirza Fakhrul Alamgir said its journalists faced persecution during the past regime, but remained committed to truth and public awareness. He also conveyed greetings from BNP chairperson and former Prime Minister Begum Khaleda Zia and the acting chairman Tariq Rahman to the Naya Digonto family. First United States wheat shipment arrives at Ctg Port. Bangladesh has started its first ever official wheat import from the United States. The first shipment aboard the vessel MV North Stride, carrying 56,959 metric tons of wheat, arrived at the outer anchorage of Ctg Port today. According to an official handout, the import is part of a total 440,000 metric tons of wheat under a memorandum of understanding signed between Bangladesh and the United States. The shipment is being handled under an agreement between the Directorate General of Food of the Ministry of Food and the United States Department of Agriculture. After sample testing, arrangements have been made for prompt unloading. Of the total wheat, 34,170 metric tons will be unloaded at the Ctg Port, while 22,789 metric tons will be unloaded at Mongla Port. Venezuelan military won't allow installation of a government subservient to United States, says minister. Venezuela's defense minister Vladimir Padrino said the country's armed forces will not allow any government that is subservient to the interests of the United States. He made the remarks on state television accusing Washington of trying to oust President Nicolas Maduro. The defense minister said the military would resist any attempt to impose foreign influence, adding that Venezuela is a free nation and will not return to slavery. His comments came amid a United States military deployment in the Caribbean, which Washington described as an anti-drug operation. Caracas, however, suspects it is preparation for a coup. The Pentagon said an aircraft carrier strike group had been deployed to counter drug trafficking in Latin America. The move has raised fears that the real target could be the Venezuelan government. Vladimir Padrino described the situation as the most significant military threat in the last 100 years and said Venezuela wants peace, not war. President Nicolas Maduro has called for dialogue with United States President Donald Trump. Tensions have risen as the United States continues naval operations in the region, with recent strikes on alleged drug boats reportedly killing over 40 people, many of them civilians. Washington has accused Maduro of running a drug cartel, while Caracas denies the charges. That's all for today. For more information, visit bssnews.net. Thanks for watching.